Welcome to NCC News at 4 p.m. I'm Tania Joseph. The Syracuse University Human Rights Film Festival runs from Thursday to Saturday and is free and open to the public. In efforts to continue their legacy and celebrate their lives, the university selects 35 upcoming seniors that have the same visions, dreams, and aspirations as the victims and awards them the Remembrance Scholarship. Here at Syracuse University, students and community members are protesting in efforts to stop victim blaming and bring awareness to the issue of sexual assault. I'm here at the Tompkins County Courthouse in Ithaca, where a truck driver is facing charges after his truck slammed into a restaurant, leaving a waitress dead and 5 injured. While we have to deal with the cold weather up here, people are filling the streets of New Orleans to celebrate one of my favorite holidays. As for the future of other social media platforms adopting this Instagram role, Professor Goenka says only time can tell. Hi, I'm Tania Joseph, and I've got this week's QsCast edition from outside of the Dome.
Well, it's National Nutrition Month.
And you know what that means, food and fitness.
NCC reporter Tania Joseph is here with us to discuss this year's theme and the steps you can take to keep yourself in shape.
That's right, it's National Nutrition Month, and this year's theme is Go Further with Food. I sat down with Professor Uzgedeki in the Nutrition Department at Syracuse University to learn about what should be added and removed from our diet. Food fuels our bodies and gives us the energy we need to get through the day. Nutrition professor Uzgedeki says nutrition and health go hand in hand.
It is really the foundation of health. So in order for people to be the healthiest they could be, they need to have a nice balanced diet.
This campaign encourages people to think about what they put on their plates and the effects it will have on their bodies. Uzgedeki says eating habits correlate with many health issues.
Heart disease, which happens to be the #1 killer in the United States, is related to obesity. Diabetes, types of cancers are associated with obesity as well.
Analyzing your diet can save you a trip to the doctor and cut down on food waste. Some key questions to ask yourself before your next grocery trip are:
am I having a variety of foods? Am I getting fruits and vegetables in there? So if you think about the visual of my plate, it's really half the plate should be filled up with fruits and vegetables.
Substituting meat for plant-based foods and incorporating whole foods in your diet are some small steps that go a long way.
Whole foods that have been less refined, it's always a good bet. Like whole wheat breads.
Besides food, another way to better your lifestyle is by stepping outside of the kitchen and into fitness. The Department of Health recommends 150 minutes of moderate physical activity a week.
It's the hardest part to do, but it's the easier decision to make.
Former athlete Evan Richards says fitness comes in many forms.
Like whether that's coming and playing a basketball game, swimming, things that seem challenging but also enticing, like going to a boxing class, and then you go from there and do what's necessary to stay healthy.
So this month is really about finding the perfect balance between food and fitness and planning ahead, because with planning, you save a lot of money and time. Drug abuse remains a major issue here in Central New York, and where people are getting their drugs may surprise you. From over-the-counter medicine to aerosol cans, Sharpies, and liquid glue, all these products in recent years have led to an increase in hospital visits. I spoke to someone who admits to using over-the-counter drugs for recreational purposes, and she says accessibility contributes to her drug use.
Is what they use in cold medicine, and anything on the market that has that in it will probably get you high.
Although the number of opioid deaths declined 34% during the first 9 months of 2017, Onondaga County remains at the top of the list for overdose deaths in Central New York. Kayla Kelly from Syracuse Recovery Services says one way to continue to lower the rates of these deaths is through education and acknowledging addiction as a disease.
I think education is key. There's a lot of stigma around drug abuse and alcohol use in the community. Either people are really stuck in the old models of it that, it's a choice, it's a genetic predisposition, and just there's like this hook that gets you. While that is a part of it, it really is a disease. We have to start looking at addiction as a disease.
Central New York is providing Narcan training for bars, schools, and restaurants to teach people what to do in the event of an overdose. In addition to education and training, the FDA is also helping combat substance and drug abuse by placing regulations on the amount of over-the-counter drugs people can buy and repackaging products to prevent misuse. Addiction is a disease that affects us all, whether directly or indirectly.
It's white people, it's Hispanic people, African Americans, it's all races. It does not discriminate. So if you think that it couldn't happen to you, I would really think again.
Through prevention, education, and awareness about treatment, people can get the help they need, and we can lower the number of overdose deaths in Onondaga County.
In the midst of Trump's trade tensions and tweet wars, companies are seeing a decline in stocks.
Stock analyst Tania Joseph has the details on how social media affects the stock market. Tania?
Shortly after Trump imposed additional tariffs on China and other countries, China responded with hitting America where it hurts, its pockets. China announced they will also impose tariffs on more than 100 American goods, which includes fruits, nuts, herbs, wine, and pork, which is the leading seller in the United States. This morning in a conference, Trump stated negotiations with China are ongoing. The trade war, however, is not the only thing causing the stock market upset. President Trump took to Twitter today to express his problems with Amazon, tweeting, "Amazon pays little to no taxes, yet uses the postal system as their delivery boy." He also stated Amazon should pay these costs and not have them borne by the American taxpayer. A few minutes after these accusations, the Amazon stock market plummeted into the red zone, and many people took to Twitter to express their concerns. Heading over to the responses, Billy Baldwin says there's another name for Trump lying about Amazon on Twitter and causing their stock price to tumble. It's called securities fraud. Moving on to Kurt, people have been charged with securities fraud when issuing false information involving a stock that causes the price to drop. Trump's lies kneecapped the stock market. Anyone else would be a subject of investigation. And moving on to job security, Rowland says the post office employs over 500,000 people, and if Amazon stops using the post office thanks to Trump, how many jobs will be at risk? Amazon did not respond to the president's Twitter attacks, but many people are seeing how social media affects the stock market. As you can see, the stocks dropping in response to the president's tweets has caused concerns across the board. Stay tuned with NCC News as we follow the stock market. And that'll do it for this week's QsCast. I'm Tania Joseph, Syracuse University News.